looking at 9B. So last lesson we finished chapter 8 and we started chapter 9. And 9A was just a really tiny little bit, just saying that we can put two different types of recursion relations together. So those of you that weren't here, pretty much 9A was just saying how we've got linear recursion, we've got geometric recursion, and for some types of sequences, we can have linear and geometric recursion in the same sequence. So we just pretty much put them together. And that's pretty much what we were saying. And that was all what 9A covered. So today we are looking at reducing balance loans. So when money is borrowed from the bank, the borrower usually pays back the money owing in regular payments. And this type of loan is called a reducing balance loan.
Sorry.
You will be. And it can be modelled by this type of recursion relation. So this is what we looked at last lesson in 9A. So our V0 stays exactly the same. And we can see that we've got a geometric recursion relation there. And we have a linear recursion relation there. And we're pretty much just sticking them together. So A is the principal amount, D is the payment we are making, and R is the rate of what we're getting charged. Any questions so far? Cool. All right. So let's go down and let's have a look at some questions. All right, Alyssa and Alyssa, you are both on the show today. All right, so Alyssa borrows $1,000 at an interest rate of 15% per annum, compounding monthly. She will repay the loan by making 4 monthly payments of $257.85. Construct a recurrence relation to model this loan in the form of what we've just looked at. So, a couple of important things. We're told how much she borrows, so she borrows $1,000. We're told that it's at an interest rate of 15%. We're also told that it compounds monthly. The other bit of information, which we haven't worked with at the same time, is we are told that she makes 4 payments and how much those payments are. So sometimes we've been told how many payments and how much the payments are, but we haven't been given all the other information. Sometimes we've been told what rate and how we're compounding and what investment we've got, but we haven't been told this. So this is how we've got a linear and a geometric recursion together. We've been told 2 separate amounts of information, we're putting them together. So generally, this payment will take into account, if we're told this is the payment, it will take into account 15% compounding monthly on $1,000, and this payment would have been made in relation to that. That's why it's a funny number. It's not like a set, nice, $300 or something like that. It's got $257.85, like who makes that up just randomly? So it's been calculated, so that's why it's a funny sort of number. Okay, so to construct a recurrence relation to model this loan in this form. So our V0, what are we or what have we borrowed? 1,000. Beautiful. Okay, then we've got our Vn plus 1. Oops, that should be a bit smaller than that. Okay, we need to find our ratio. So to find our ratio, as usual, we have our 1 plus on 100. And because we are told we're paying, or it's compounding monthly, we also need to make sure it's over 12 as well. Any questions about that? All good? Yep. So we've got 1 plus our rate, which was 15 over 12 over 100. Anyone not following what we just did? Cool. All right. So once we have this number, we can use that as our rate in here. 1.0125 times VN, and we are taking away the payments. $257.85. Now, a couple of things to note in here is when we've borrowed some money and there's interest. So we've borrowed some money and the bank is charging us interest, so that we pay back that money plus a little bit extra. So that is why our R is increasing. That is why our R has 1 point something, because the bank is charging us interest. So the amount of interest will go up.
Is it always
Yeah, if they're charged, yeah, because they will charge us interest. They're not going to take interest away from us. The reason we're taking this one away and not plussing it is because we are paying that much back each time. Does that make sense? It was a bit like last lesson when we looked at the trout farm and we had and the ratio was 1 point something, but we were still taking away 3,000 trout. You won't hear last lesson, you're like, why is she talking about trout? And we talked about how usually geometric, if I've got a ratio with 1 point something, it's going up. If it's below, then it's going down, but our results were still going down. That's the same thing. Does that make sense? Even though this is a 1 point something, that's making it go up because it's our interest that is going up, but ultimately we are still paying back money. So overall, the amount is going to go down. Hopefully. That's what you'd want.
So if you pay you
Yes. Yeah. Any questions? All good? Cool. So that's the recurrence relation. And so then we go down to the next question. So once we have a recurrence relation, we can use it to determine things such as balance of a loan after a given number of payments. So we've got the recurrence relation down here, exactly the same as what we wrote up there. Use your calculator to determine recursively the balance of the loan after Alyssa has made each of the 4 payments. So we're starting with our V0 is 1,000. To get our V1, so it says to use your calculator, so you don't have to show all your writing, but you do need to show what V1, V2, V3 and V4 equal. Does that make sense? Because it says, we're still using recursion, but it says you can use your calculator. So in your calculator, you'd press 1,000 and then execute, and then you'd have in your ratio, times your ratio, take your payment. All right, EXE, and then EXE.
Can you do notes on your to show the working one?
No, you don't have to show the working out, but you do need to show.
For like the rate, yeah, show the working.
No, if you just want to go straight from whatever, just put it in, and just as long as you've got what the rate is, that's fine. Anyone confused about this bit? All good?
Yeah.
Yep? Alright, so our V1, we should end up with 754.65. Can everyone just please put that into their calculator to make sure you are doing it correctly, and if you're not, we can fix it if you don't get that number. Next one, 506.233. 254.71 and 0.04.
Do we keep the 3 decimal points?
No, good point. Thank you. What are these numbers telling us? What are they showing us? What have we just found? Yep, perfect. Yep. So it's the balance of the loan after each payment. So after one payment, the balance is $754.65. After two payments, the balance is $506.23.
Do you mean like balance
As in what's left to pay on the loan.
Do you have to write a sentence after you've done?
No, that's
Just
fine.
keep it like that.
Yep. Because it just says use a calculator to determine recursively the balance of the loan after Alyssa has made each of the 4 payments. That's fine for a question like that. Yep.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused. When like, is the reason why they like pay it like that, like intervals, is that to reduce how much they have to pay back? Because like,
It's just instead of paying it in one lump sum, because it'd be like if you've got a loan, the easiest way to pay it off is to break it down and pay it in different
but
payments.
and then it's reduced.
Yep. So each time we're paying this much.
Oh, so it's
Off.
actually the same amount.
It is, but before we can pay it, we're about to get into this in a moment. Your head's ahead of the game. Before we can pay it, we have to calculate the interest, and then we put this money onto it.
Oh,
We'll go through it in more detail in a moment. That's a really good question. Any other questions? All good? All right. Can we move to anyone not get these numbers on their calculator?
I just wondering about N1. Would
Yep.
it be 0.05 because I think it's 0.0449.
No, because you're rounding it to 2 and your third decimal was 4.
Oh,
Point
so
zero
does it matter what the
four.
fourth one because if you're rounding it to 3,
No,
you
you-
use
because it-
0.45.
You're looking at third one.
So I just completely ignore that? Or
No, so if you've got 0.0449,
yeah.
you only need these two, so you look at this one.
Oh, okay.
Make sense?
Okay, yeah. I don't know whether that one's connected.
All right, all good? All right. So next question. What is the balance of the loan, so the amount she still owes, after she's made 2 payments? Give your answer to the nearest cent. All right, so after she's made 2 payments, so we're looking at this one. So after 2 payments, the balance of the loan is $506.23. And then the next question asks, is the loan fully paid out after the 4 payments have been made? If not, how much will the last payment have to be to ensure that the loan is fully repaid after 4 payments?
Does it just need to be 4 cents extra?
Spot on. So we've looked at how much is left over. So this is our remaining balance. After 4 payments, we still have 4 cents that we have to pay. So is the loan fully paid out after 4 payments have been made? No. There is still 4 cents owing. So what happens when there's a little bit left over on that last payment is that little bit that's left over is just added on to that last payment. So generally, the last payment will be a little bit more than the rest of the payments. So if we were paying $257.84 and we have 4 cents left over, our next payment or our last payment is just going to be our usual payment plus the bit that's left over, so this bit here. So the last payment will be $257.89. Hopefully that 4 cents doesn't break the bank.
Wait, would that be V5?
No, that would still be V4. So this is, if we're doing the payments, this is how much is left in the account. But then it's saying, okay, well, we only want 4 payments, so how much extra will that last payment, will this 4th payment be? It's got to be an extra 4 cents because that's how much we have left over.
So if there is, if the loan is fully paid out, you take more than the second bit.
Yeah, if this balance was 0, then that would be fine. Does that make sense?
That's the fourth payment.
Fourth payment, yep. No, no, the fourth payment. Yep, so we're still only paying 4 times.
If I went, I would have got failed. Sort of exact so what do you wait until and yeah.
All right, any questions? Yeah.
Why is it surely 7.8?
What was it? Yep, sorry, my mistake. And that would make sense because 4 plus 4 is not 9. My bad.
Wait, where did you get the 5? It was 7.
When I get which one?
7 when V3 I got failed. So like, if you look on the Vicarage website, there's a list.
This one?
You're supposed to-
No, that each of our payments. So if you go back to the very start of the question, it's got each payment is $257.85. So that's what we pay each time. So that's actually got nothing to do with the third one. Well, not much anyway.
She was just like, oh.
All right. Any questions? We're all good? All right. We'll move down. Ooh.
Next available one is in holidays. Like if there was one free today, you could just go back and do it again the next day. But like, even if you do, it's already pre-booked 2 weeks in advance. You know. So yeah, enroll's good. I'm still probably at 8:30 a.m. Like I don't mind getting up early, but I didn't want to do it. I was like, Mum, it's rush hour.
Okay. So the next thing we're looking at is how the interest is calculated and how our payments are calculated. So we're talking about compound interest, and it's compounded monthly or yearly. How are these things compounded? Where does the amount of interest come from? And if we're making the same amount of payments, what are we actually paying off? So these
What does that say?
A-M-O-R-T-I-S-I-N-G. Is that actually right?
How do you say that word?
Amortizing, I'm assuming. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so they're called amortizing loans. And it's pretty much exactly what we've been talking about. We're going to use some tables so we can understand how these are calculated, because you may be asked to fill in some blanks, or you may be asked to calculate the total interest that's been paid at a certain amount of time. And we can use these tables to help us work that out. So these are the steps that we go through, and we're going to go through the steps so we can understand what we're actually doing. Yep, go to calculator. Drink bottle, yep. Okay, so if we're looking at these tables, the first thing we need to do is we start with the principal amount or the balance of the loan. So the only time, girls, only time we use the principal amount is the first time we're calculating the interest.
So
Every other time we're using the balance amount, balance of the loan. Okay, we calculate the amount of interest on the principal or the balance of the loan. So the only time we calculate it on the principal is the first time we do it. Every other time we do it on the balance of the loan.
is the balance of the loan like the previous term?
Yes. So So we get a regular payment. We're usually told what these regular payments are. When we use our regular payment, we always pay off the interest first. It's just how the loans work. And then the remainder of the payment pays off the balance of the loan. Whatever is left over is called the balance of the loan. And this will make a bit more sense in a moment. And we keep doing this until there is no balance left. Until it gets down to zero or close enough to zero that we can just make that last payment a little bit more. Make sense? Cool. All right, so let's go down. All right. Ooh. Okay, so these are the tables. And we're still talking about Alyssa's loan. So how is it calculated? Now, before we do these calculations, there's a few formulas I want you to write down. Good morning. That's better. Okay. So before we start, I want you to write some of these formulas down. So interest paid equals balance of loan, that's what that stands for, times the rate, not ratio. Principal reduction is payment, take interest paid, and the balance of the loan is the previous balance of the loan, take away payment amount, take away interest paid. So when we do them in tables, we mightn't have to use these because we might be able to work them out without using all these formulas. But when we go down to a table like we can see down here where there's blanks, having these formulas is going to help us a lot to work out what goes in the blanks. Balance of the loan. So if we're working out this one, we need to use this one.
Minor takeaway after the balance.
Yes, it is a takeaway. Okay, so we're still using the same scenario. So we've got, fill in the table for Alyssa's loan of $1,000 at an interest rate of 15% per annum, compounding monthly. She will repay the loan by making 4 monthly repayments of $257.85. So our principal amount, the amount we're starting with, is still $1,000. Our interest rate is still 15. It asks for rate, not ratio. And our monthly payment amount is $257.85. That's nothing new. Drop the highlighter. Alright, so starting with our payment numbers, we're just going to start with 0 as our first one. And we know we have 4 altogether because it tells us that there's 4 monthly payments. Okay, so 0 is pretty much when she walks into the bank and she says, give me $1,000. So she's not paying anything yet. There's no interest paid yet. There's no reduction. There is a balance of the loan. So she's walked in, said, give me $1,000, and they said, okay. So she has $1,000. That's what happens there. So, she had to sign a few papers too. Okay, so then we have in the first month, so the first payment amount we have right here. So she's paying $257.85. Okay, the amount of interest paid. So we need to work out how much interest is there on this amount of money. So interest paid is this formula up here. So we've got our 1,000 times our rate.
Times 100.
Over
100.
15, 12, yep, over 100. Hang on, no, I've done something wrong. Forgive me. Oh, hang on, no, I haven't. I just forgot to times it. Yep, not perfect. Sorry, that should be 1,000. Sorry, because that's our principal balance of the loan. Okay, so she's got $12.50. That is how much interest she is paying in this month. That's how much interest. So she goes, okay, so my loan's $1,000 and I've been charged $12.50 interest. This month I'm paying $257.85 off my loan. The first thing she has to pay is this $12.50. So $12.50 from this amount goes to pay off the interest. The principal reduction, so whatever is left over from this amount, will tell us how much she can reduce the balance or the principal of the loan by. Does that make sense? So to get this principal reduction, she's got the payment amount, so what she's just paid, which is $257.85, take away the amount of interest paid. Oops, yeah, no, that's right. Oops, that's not. What is? So $245.35. So what this is saying is, okay, I've got $257.85 to pay off this month. I've been charged $12.50, so I have to pay that first. Whatever is left over in this amount, which is this, so this is what's left over, I'm going to take this much away from the balance of the loan. Is that making sense? So we can go balance of the loan. So I've got 1,000, take away this number. And we end up with $756.65. So after her first month, this is how much
Wait,
she has.
are you taking it away from, can't you just do payment amount minus interest paid
Hang on, what?
instead of principal reduction? For the balance of the loan, isn't it payment amount minus interest paid?
Yes, payment amount minus that.
Yeah.
And then, which is that number. And then that's that number, take away that number.
So in the dual formula, can you just do previous BO out minus principal reduction?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that a quicker way?
Yes.
Would you recommend it?
How come I
Well, the reason I've got this up because if we don't have this as well, sometimes you may not have that. You can find it, but if you just need to find that one and you've got those two, then you can do that.
I didn't get that. I got 754.
Okay, you may have.
Yeah, because it's 4.45, so it comes 6.
Oh, hang on. Let me check. What we got? That should be 6.5. Those numbers are right. So what did you get? 7.
6 plus 5 is 11.
That number, 75465. Oh, okay. Maybe I've just done that wrong. Sorry, I meant that I had the wrong. Yeah, no. Yeah, 754. Sorry. Sorry, I thought you were saying 4. Something. I wasn't listening. Sorry. All right. Any questions about that bit? All good? So if we're doing the next one, so payment is still the same. Payment is still the exact same amount. Interest paid, we work it out the exact same way, but this time we are doing it on this one, not this one, because this is what we've now got. So we have 754.65 times 15 on 12 on 100.
So we can just do the 1.0.
Yep.
Payments on that. It's. Wait. Why is it? Wait, what's the second bit that way?
This bit?
The balance of the rate. The balance of loan.
Yep, so the rate.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
the rate. Yep.
Oh, and the rate's 1. Yeah.
The ratio is when it's got 1 point.
Okay.
The rate is,
The fraction.
yep.
Okay.
Oh, so it's still trying to get by 1,000? No, we're not.
No, by this one. So the previous one. Because we're working that out of what we've, okay, so we've now got $754.65 to pay off. How much interest are we being charged on this amount of
And you
money?
don't plus 1, that's what I
Yeah, don't plus 1. Yep. That's why it's got rate, not ratio, up there. Okay, so the principal reduction. What have we got? So we've got the payment amount. Take away the interest paid. So 248.42. And then the balance of the loan, we should have 754.65. Take away 248.42.